What if this war doesn't end in weeks, but quietly reshapes global energy, inflation, and power for years? Not through one massive, decisive explosion, but through sustained pressure, rising oil prices, disrupted shipping routes, and a region that never fully stabilizes. Because what's happening right now in the Middle East isn't just another conflict, it's a system shock. And here's the key part. It doesn't need to escalate dramatically to change the world, because it already is. As this conflict enters its fifth week, the ongoing US-Israel military campaign against Iran is no longer just about strikes and retaliation. It's becoming something bigger, something that could reshape global energy markets, trade routes, inflation trends, and even long-term geopolitical alignments. This isn't just a military story, it's a turning point. In this video, we're breaking down 4 critical angles that will still matter weeks or even months from now. Why this conflict is being fought differently, the hidden battle over global energy flows, why developing economies are feeling the pressure first, and the question that matters most, what happens next? Because what you're seeing right now might only be the beginning. At first glance, one thing stands out immediately. This is not a full-scale invasion. It's controlled, calculated. On one side, the US and Israel are conducting targeted strikes, focused on infrastructure, strategic assets, and nuclear-linked facilities. On the other side, Iran's response is measured but persistent. Missile attacks, proxy activity, and pressure through regional networks. But here's the critical detail. Both sides are avoiding one outcome at all costs: a total, uncontrollable escalation. Why? Because once that line is crossed, there's no easy way back. History shows this clearly. Conflicts in this region don't stay contained. They expand, they pull in other actors, and they become far harder to control. So instead, what we're seeing is something more deliberate, a managed conflict. Damage is real, tension is constant, but escalation is carefully calibrated. The problem, that balance is fragile. It only takes one miscalculation, one strike that goes too far to change everything. But if you're only watching the military dimension, you're missing the bigger picture. Because the most important battlefield right now isn't on land or in the air. It's the global energy system. At the center of it all is one narrow passage, the Strait of Hormuz. Roughly 20% of the world's oil flows through this choke point. And here's what makes it so powerful. It doesn't need to be fully blocked to trigger global consequences. Even the threat of disruption is enough. Shipping risks rise, insurance costs spike, energy traders react, oil prices climb, and once oil moves, everything follows. Transportation becomes more expensive, supply chains tighten, food prices rise. This is how a regional conflict becomes a global economic event. Now imagine this lasting months, not days, not weeks, months. Energy markets stay volatile. Businesses face rising costs, central banks struggle to contain inflation, and households around the world start to feel it. Because this isn't just about oil, it's about everything connected to it. Here's what often gets overlooked. The countries hit hardest by this kind of shock are often not directly involved in the conflict. Across emerging and developing economies, especially those dependent on imported energy, the impact is immediate. Fuel prices rise, transportation costs increase. Transportation rises, food prices follow, and suddenly basic goods become less affordable. For millions of people, this isn't abstract economics, it's daily life getting more expensive. And over time, a gap begins to widen. Stronger economies absorb the shock. They adjust policy, stabilize markets, but more fragile economies face tougher choices, higher inflation, slower growth, increasing financial strain. That's the deeper consequence here. This doesn't just shift power at the top, it reshapes stability across the entire system. And there's another shift happening, quiet but critical. This conflict is no longer confined to one place. It's spreading through networks. Instead of one front, there are multiple pressure points, strategic waterways, shipping lanes, regional actors. That changes everything. Because now risk isn't concentrated, it's distributed. Shipping becomes less predictable, security risks expand, escalation becomes harder to control. At the same time, the US and its allies are trying to contain that spread, limiting escalation without triggering a wider war. It's a delicate balance, and the margin for error is thin.
So where does this go from here? It doesn't move in one direction. It branches, and each path leads to a very different outcome. Scenario 1: prolonged tension. Controlled strikes continue. No major red lines are crossed. The result? A slow, persistent strain on the global system. Elevated energy prices, ongoing uncertainty, and steady economic pressure. Not a sudden crisis, but a drawn-out one. Scenario 2: miscalculation. One event, intentional or accidental, pushes the conflict beyond its limits, and suddenly everything accelerates. Regional actors get involved, shipping routes face disruption, critical infrastructure is threatened, oil prices spike, markets react instantly. The shock becomes immediate and severe. Scenario 3: de-escalation. Behind-the-scenes diplomacy reduces tensions, military activity slows, but nothing is fully resolved. Stability returns, temporarily, but the underlying risks remain, and the system stays sensitive to future shocks. Now here's the key insight. Even in the best-case scenario, the effects don't simply disappear, because this isn't just a conflict, it's a stress test. Energy security, trade routes, inflation dynamics, geopolitical alliances, all being tested at the same time. And some changes are already underway. Countries rethinking energy dependence, trade routes being adjusted, alliances evolving, quietly but significantly. These aren't short-term reactions, they're long-term shifts. So the real question isn't just, how does this war end? It's this: what kind of world does it leave behind? Because conflicts like this don't just conclude, they reshape the system around them. Now I want to hear from you. How long do you think this tension can last? And are you already feeling the effects through fuel prices, food costs, or inflation where you live? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more clear, no-hype breakdowns of global conflicts and the forces shaping the world, make sure to subscribe, because the biggest shifts in global power don't always happen with sudden explosions. Sometimes they happen slowly and change everything.